Welcome back to my balcony garden. After being away for 1.5 months, I'm so happy to be back. Today I'll update you on what survived after I left everything to automated watering. I'll also show you what's happening in May and share why I'm documenting this whole imperfect journey. In April, I focused on prepping the garden for my long absence. I set up a basic automated watering system, planted some summer herbs and leaf greens, and just hoped for the best. Spoiler, not everything went to plan. If you watched my previous video, and if you haven't, you can find it in the top right corner, you know I installed 4 types of automated watering system. And now there is my honest review. Bathtub setup, 5 out of 5. This method was great for pots sitting inside. Honestly, I didn't expect it to work so well, but my potted indoor plants are thriving. They survived beautifully. Commercial watering devices, drip systems or timers, 5 out of 5. I set mine to water everything for 3 minutes every 2 days. Since it was spring, that was enough. The plants look healthy and green. This setup really worked, especially indoors. Ollas, 5 out of 5. Ollas are my favorite for balcony or container gardening. These are ceramic pots that you bury and fill with water, sometimes with a bottle on top. They are excellent for maintaining consistent soil moisture. However, they are not great for huge containers. I would say 40 liters is the max. But overall, everything I watered with Ollas is thriving. My lemon tree, broccoli, raspberries, all doing amazingly well. DIY bottle drippers, I would say 2.5 out of 5. This method uses a bottle and a cotton thread. It's very hit or miss. Some plants dry it out too fast while others ended up flooded. For indoor plants, I don't recommend it. Mine were practically swimming in swampy pots. But for small balcony pots, it worked decently. Herbs, chili peppers and radishes were okay. However, tomatoes and eggplants didn't survive, so that might also be due to cold nights. So overall, this method might be okay for short-term use, but not for longer trips. That said, I am actually considering reinstalling it for summer, just to reduce daily watering stress. If the summer gets hot, I don't want to worry about watering everything every day. So this is May, and it's all about starting fresh, literally. I am reseeding some herbs, adjusting the watering system and giving some love to the survivors. As I already mentioned, unfortunately almost all of my tomatoes died. Thankfully I still have time to replant them, so I did. I am a bit worried it might be too late for them to bear fruit, because last year I planted them at the end of April and even then it felt a bit late. I also had to start over with peppers like paprika and eggplants. But besides that, we've already planted cucumbers and not squash, but zucchini. As I mentioned in previous videos, I'm not a big fan of zucchini, but I decided to give it one more try. I also planted pumpkins, so we'll see what comes up. Right now I don't see anything sprouting yet. So if you are gardening too, it's a great time to do the same. You can still plant arugula, and if you'd like, you can also plant squash and beans. I already had my first small harvest, twice actually. I made fresh salads with radishes, Swiss chard or mangold, various herbs, arugula and spinach. After harvesting, you can clean up the space and sow new seeds. So if you're growing leafy greens like lettuce, spinach, arugula or root crops like radishes, carrots and beets, you can start harvesting and replanting them now. And again, I can't stop saying how important it is to create mixed beds, where you plant flowers, herbs and veggies together. For example, especially after I left my garden alone for 1.5 months, there were so many pests. Garlic, for instance, absorbed a lot of the damage. And calendula actually took on some pests and diseases and eventually died, but that's exactly why I planted it. So yes, if you are starting a balcony or container garden, try to mix different types of plants. Flowers, herbs and vegetables all have a role, and diversity really helps with resilience. Now I want to share with you why I make these videos. I received a comment on one of my videos saying it was so great that my balcony garden isn't fancy-schmancy like many others on YouTube, and honestly that made me really happy, because that's the reason I started making these videos in the first place. When I wanted to start growing herbs, I looked for content made for regular people, but most of what I found was already polished and perfect. I'd see someone put a seed in the soil and then cut to a beautiful, fully grown plant. But for me, that's not how it worked. I couldn't understand what I was doing wrong. I was hungry for videos that showed the real struggles, the pests, the setbacks, the moments of doubt. A lot of balcony garden videos make it seem like everything is always thriving and flawless, but that just isn't realistic. That's why I decided to show the actual process of growing food even on a small balcony. The mistakes, the failures, the brown leaves and the occasional green victory. Perfect gardening videos don't always reflect what it's like when you're still figuring things out, especially in city spaces. So if that's you too, you are not alone. And I really hope you enjoy these videos, learn from my mistakes and take away whatever works best for you. So thanks for sticking with me through this messy green adventure. If you are curious to see how this balcony evolves over the summer, hit that subscribe button and I will see you soon with another update. Besides balcony gardening, I also make videos about tech lifestyle and life in Germany, so please support the channel, and even if this video wasn't your favorite, consider giving it a like anyway. It helps others who might enjoy it actually see it. Tschüss, happy gardening!